Hello there everyone, Ashnflash here, and welcome on into a very important video. Honestly, one of the most important ones that I think I'm done on the channel, not just for myself, but for anyone really interested in potentially joining the LEGO Ambassador program. And I just want to share some of the things that have come out recently because of an incident that's kind of made LEGO reevaluate a lot of their leak policies and what they are allowing ambassadors to talk about, and even just allowing out on the internet as well. So I can't go into specifics. I was told not to, but I just want to share, I guess, the gist of the rules and how it's going to affect specifically this channel and some of the content that myself and other people, if we want to stay in LAN, have to follow and abide by. So for the longest time, the rules were pretty simple and to follow. You can only show a set once it has appeared on a retail site. Let's say that you were DM'd pictures or something like that. You can't post them in a video unless they are from a retail site. Now, sometimes things are subject to change, unfortunately, because you are dealing with IPs, which is intellectual property. So you are dealing with companies like Warner Brothers. Last year wasn't happy that the Wonder Woman 84 set appeared on Amazon UK or something like that. I don't remember specifically what it was, so LEGO actually wound up asking everyone to take down their videos. So there's situations like that that kind of, happen after the fact, even if you are following the rules, and which is something that now we all have to adapt, which is why I want to talk about this. When it came to rumors and speculation and things like that, leaks specifically covering stuff like that, it had to be someone from a forum or on social media or a blog or something like that that we could actually cover, or of course a retail site, but specifically with leaks that aren't considered valid sources, because to LEGO, the only valid sources are retail sites, which going forward you'll hear a lot more about in a second. So those were the rules that we had to follow, and Justin was a big part of the rules that I followed on the channel because he was already in LAN and he kind of imparted the rules so that I would follow them in order to get into LAN and to be on LEGO's good side, which is something really important to me. Regardless of if I was in LAN, I never want to upset that company that I love and want to stay in a good relationship with, which is why I think this video is important, because I want this to be here for anyone wanting to potentially join LAN. And if you have questions, or even if you're wondering about some of the content that you're posting on your channel when it comes to new information, things like that, I will try and answer them if I'm able to see them all and answer them all if you have any questions about this. So again, I think that this is something important that really, if anyone's wanting to start a channel, or I don't know how far this could apply to some of the new things that are going to be rolling out, or what actions are going to be taken, I'm not entirely sure. So anyways, the changes here that are going to be affecting the channel, and I'm just going to go through some of the videos that are not and are allowed. The ball for this has kind of been snowballing for a while now about leaks, but it wasn't until about a month ago now that we actually were beginning to get new rules and new things that were being written out on LAN. But there was a lot of gray areas and questions about, are certain sites a part of this valid source for information, and up until literally yesterday things have changed. So some of the things that we can't talk about now are leaks when it comes to whether a blurry picture pops up online or an employee taking a picture of the set in the back room. So basically, we can't cover leaks anymore at all, and I think that it's important that I owe it to you guys, because I'm sure that a lot of people are probably subscribed because they've seen the videos where I talk about set names, descriptions, and all that stuff. So the only stuff that we can cover, which is, it doesn't matter where it's coming from, it could be coming from Instagram, but the only stuff that we can cover is set numbers and the amount of sets, I guess, that we would be getting in that year. So for DC or Star Wars and things like that, if we just get all of the set numbers, we could talk about that, and that is without it actually being an actual retail source. And a good example of what I mean by retail source of information versus non-information is taking a look most recently at some of the videos that we posted. Here with Harry Potter, we have a bunch of information for the 2021 sets coming out in the summer, and that information came from a blog. But before that, the week before, we got a bunch of set numbers as well as just descriptions in there of it being labeled under DC or Marvel or Disney Plus. So we were able to kind of speculate on some of the sets and things to come. So I was able to share that information with you, that there are these Marvel sets priced at these prices and with this piece count and with this label of Disney Plus and whatever that winds up being. So, and again, like, we found out about the advent calendar from a blog, but then we found out about the CMF series for Marvel from a retail site. So it's just, you can kind of pick up the difference here. And a good example of pictures showing up of sets before Lego themselves posting it is the Monkey Kid sets from this past week. The other thing is, speculation is actually frowned upon, and I don't think that I will stop speculating on what sets we could be potentially getting. And even when I'm live streaming, I can't imagine being able to sit there and not get excited about the latest trailer for Falcon and the Winter Soldier and be like, wow, that would make such a cool set. Or even just saying, what if that Disney Plus set could be that, since it was the first show that was actually on the docket to release on Disney Plus. Like, saying stuff like that. I don't have this information on hand. Like, I'm not sitting here speculating, or I can't imagine being on stream and not being able to say, well, let's say that Doctor Strange poster or something is revealed and we're still like a whole year out before the products are even, being finalized and everything like that. Like, I want to be able to be and say, man, I really hope that we get at least one Doctor Strange set, because the last time we got one Doctor Strange set, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, I want to be able to talk about the potential of The Mandalorian. They've kind of been slacking on that. Hopefully they pick up the pace for season 3. They're warning against it, but at the same time, I can't picture myself not talking about these things, because that's something, movies and TV shows and things like that, is something that I get very excited about. And just at the prospect of potentially getting sets, I don't know if we are getting anything for them. Just not being able to talk about them seems a little bit much. So I'm glad that that's not an official rule, because personally, not being able to say like, oh, this set is going to be based off this movie or something like that seems a little bit too harsh, because I definitely see the problem with this set's coming. It's going to look like this. It's going to come with this figure. It has this many pieces and it'll have this anniversary figure. I get the problem with that. To be not able to say like, oh, this is based off of Thor 4, I think it's a bit much. But at the end of the day, it is Lego. It is their own products. They get to set the rules. And if I want to be in this program, and if I want to be in a good standing with Lego, then I have to follow it. So really, I think that on its surface, it sounds a lot worse than it actually is with being able to talk about this stuff. But we knew the rules before. They've kind of changed a bit when it comes to covering information that unfortunately is being spread around so publicly and widely, which at the end of the day, some people aren't understanding that this is going to severely hurt us, the recognized Lego fan medias, the brick sets, the brick fan, the Just Too Good, and Holly and myself. And when we cover the news and these rumors and things like that, if it's not going to be us, it's going to be someone else, which you could definitely see. I'm not going to name names. I don't want to start any beef with anyone, but there are channels that have been up. They're getting hundreds of thousands of views on actual copyrighted images and leaks of sets, and Lego's not doing anything to stop them. And it has been months now. Months now. I've brought this up with Lego privately. I've brought this up publicly. I can't speak for what they're doing. They might be just like building up a whole case against people who are posting these images. I don't know. And with this information as well that I'm telling you guys about, just them being very cautious and hesitant about us sharing rumors and things like that in descriptions, I don't know what that means going forward. If they are actually able to strike things like that, regardless of if you're in LAN or not, you could still get in trouble with that. I don't know if they are finding a way to actually be able to do this. I'm no lawyer. I'm not a part of the legal department. That's not my area of expertise. I studied art. I studied graphic design. So that is a whole other thing and a whole other situation that I don't have the knowledge to actually go and talk about. But to me, my only issue with these new rules going forward is, as long as Lego enforces this outside of the program, a lot of things that are being said is that covering these leaks ruin the reveals of these sets and the reviews of them. And to me personally, don't agree with that at all. I think that just the fact that there's so many people just interested in set numbers shows just how eager people are for news and how excited they are to just be like, wow, Marvel's getting 30 plus sets this year. That is insane. Like, that is so exciting. And I think that getting now then set names or descriptions and things like that, it only adds to the hype when the actual pictures are released. It's like, oh my goodness, this is what we've been talking about for the last month and a bit, and now we actually have it. And then when it comes to the review, it's, oh wow, like that's what's on the inside of that set from the pictures and things like that. So each step along the way adds to the whole, I think, experience of a set launching. At least that's the way that I see it from a content creator's perspective. And honestly, if I wasn't doing this, like that's what I used to watch. I used to watch Justin's black videos with white text. Like, that's how I got my information back in the day. So to be having that taken away it's really sad. I think at the end of the day, it's taking away the hype and excitement for some of these sets. Again, I am of two minds. I understand why, but at the same time, I don't understand it. Like, imagine if leaks for movies weren't able to be discussed, or leaks for upcoming, you know, products for Apple, or the next generation of consoles has this feature, it's got backwards compatibility. If we weren't able to talk about these things and build up hype around these products, they're not going to be successful. So I think going forward, it'll be very interesting to see how well videos in general do about sets being revealed or just getting reviews of sets. And I think that it'll be very interesting now that we won't be able to discuss these things, how that will affect things going forward. I think it's a core part of the experience of a set launching. So honestly, there's a lot of benefits. I won't have to constantly wake up, especially now. I know that we're not going to be getting set pictures for months for the summer. So that means that I don't have to constantly wake up on the hour, every hour, to see, is there new news? If even, let's say that there was Toy Fair this year, we wouldn't be able to talk about any of the stuff that comes out from there, because that would all be leaks and rumors. And honestly, there's some benefits, there's some downsides. The information will still probably be out there. I hope that LEGO does crack down on it so that it is equal everywhere for everyone. They're expecting their content creators that they're partnering with here through the program to follow these rules. It's important that they extend those rules outside of the program as well, because that is a market out there. And if there's no market, then there's no problem. But if there's a market out there and people are able to capitalize in on that, I talked about this for over 20 minutes. I hope that you guys understand what I'm trying to say. Again, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, if you're upset about this, I hope that I can maybe explain it to you more in the comment section, because this is very important and it's an important thing going forward. It's a new, I guess, era, because for as long as I can remember, people have been allowed to talk about leaks and rumors and things like that on YouTube. So unfortunately, times are changing and we have to change with them. So I hope that you guys did enjoy this video, and I hope that you all have a great day. I will see you all in the next one.